So I'm sure as a sneakerhead, you've got some sneakers that you could never live without. The kind of shoes that are your go-tos, the shoes that you wear every single day, and if you didn't have them anymore, you would really miss them. They might not be the most hyped or limited sneakers in your collection, but they're shoes that you love to wear on a daily basis and you think you just look really good in. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm counting down the top 5 sneakers that I can't live without. I guess that is a little bit dramatic. And yes, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper out of a straw. I have no good explanation for that. Today just felt like a straw day. I don't know what to say about that. So I have the top 5 sneakers here off screen, and the top like 1 or 2 were pretty easy to figure out because they're just like my favorite shoes. But the other 3 or 2 were pretty tough, and that's because I had so many sneakers that I thought that I loved, and I do love, but just I couldn't figure out which ones made the cut. So without further ado, why don't we start things off with number 5, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. Now it's pretty obvious why this shoe made the list, and I'm sure if a lot of you guys also made a list, this shoe would be on there as well. In fact, I would bet that it would also be on Michael Jordan's list of his top 5 sneakers, because this is actually the shoe that made him stay with Jordan Brand. Or I guess it was just Nike at the time, but the Air Jordan 3 is one of Michael Jordan's favorite sneakers. I don't know about this colorway in particular, but I know at least this model. The Black Cement 3 and the Air Jordan 3 in general has such a rich history, and it's one of the most iconic sneakers ever made. If you didn't know, this is also the first Jordan sneaker that Tinker Hatfield designed, and so it's one of his most iconic designs as well. And that's saying something when you also designed the Air Max. The reason that I chose the BC3 over pretty much any other Air Jordan 3 colorway is because I think it's probably the most wearable. The black leather upper paired with the elephant print on the heel and on the toe creates such a subtle but also clean look. And when you add those little pops of red on the lace eyelets and on the Jumpman and on the back of the tongue, the entire shoe just comes to life. Not only that, but the Air Jordan 3 is also a pretty comfortable sneaker. The only pair that I didn't find comfortable were the True Blue 3s from I think like 2015 or 2016, and that's because they had this like stupid plasticky leather around the toe that whenever it creased, it like dug into your toes and cut off your circulation. And one time I walked from Manhattan to Brooklyn because I don't know, the trains were down or something, and that sucked. It felt like my toes were gonna fall off, and it was only like a 2 or 3 mile walk. The 2018 BC3s on the other hand are comfortable. The leather is soft. It might not be the best leather in the world, but it doesn't pinch your toes, and overall it's just an all-around excellent sneaker. And then coming in at number 4, we've got the Joe Freshgoods New Balance 992. I really could have picked any 992, but the Joe Freshgoods pair is the only one that I have in my collection, and it also happens to be my favorite colorway of the shoe, so it worked out. The 992 is just all around my favorite New Balance silhouette. I just love the way the upper of this sneaker looks, regardless of the colorway. I feel like you can't really have a bad colorway of the 992s. Could be wrong about that, but I haven't seen one yet. Of course, the Joe Freshgoods colorway in particular is absolutely fire. I think the combination of reds, purples, pinks, and then when you add the blue laces, the entire shoe just pops. The inspiration behind this colorway is the anatomy of a heart, and I think the New Balance 992 was the perfect shoe to have that colorway on. The way that the colors on this shoe are blocked really gives this shoe a sense of depth. Like, it really feels like you're looking into a heart. Like, you've got the ventricles and the other parts of a heart going on. It's just such a crazy looking sneaker. And it's crazy because they didn't really change any of the paneling on the upper of the shoe. If you see the shoe in gray, it looks exactly the same, but it doesn't have that same feel. But looks aside, this shoe is also stupid comfortable, and of course it is. It's New Balance. They make really comfortable sneakers, but it's the kind of shoe that you can travel in and you can wear all day and you don't feel any kind of discomfort. In fact, the upper is so comfortable, I would actually wear the shoe in my house. I don't, because we have carpet and I don't want to ruin the carpet, but I would if I could. Next up, at number 3, we've got a shoe that I'm sure a lot of you guys are sick of seeing by this point, but I'm not because I made it, and that's the We Are Underdog Seth Fowler Origin. I think it's obvious why I love this shoe so much, and I think if any of you guys designed a sneaker, you would love it just as much as I love my pair. It's really the realization of a dream. And yes, I have designed sneakers in the past. This is the Planters Peanuts Crunch Force 1s is what they ended up calling it. This is a shoe that I designed last year, and it's one that I really like, and it's made with incredible materials and I think came out really nicely, but it doesn't have my name on it. It has Mr. Peanut's name on it, or Planters on it. So because of that, the Origin is really the first shoe that ever carried my actual name on it. Like, it's got my literal signature on the back. That's crazy. This shoe is really the culmination of like 6 months worth of work, and the cool thing about this shoe is that the focus was sharing the process with you all. Like, you guys saw this shoe go from the sketching phase to the tech pack phase, all the way up to the sampling phase, and now you can actually buy a pair for yourself. And that was probably the most rewarding part of the entire journey, being able to share that entire process with you all and give you an idea of how much much it actually takes to make and create a sneaker. As a sneaker reviewer, an industrial designer, and a sneakerhead, I've always been a fan of premium materials and bringing back leathers and suedes on current sneakers, because a lot of sneakers nowadays just don't use those same sort of materials that we used back in the 80s. So with both of the shoes that I designed that actually went into production and sold, the focus was using quality materials, and both of these shoes use insane quality materials. The design intent behind the origin was creating an ultra high quality low top sneaker that could be worn every day. In fact, I've worn my pair almost every day, and it's become one of my most worn sneakers of the entire year. And what's crazy is that this shoe did so well that there might actually be some new colorways coming out in the very near future, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Overall, this is one of my favorite shoes that I've ever owned, and I think the reason is obvious, but I just love this shoe. Next, at number 2, we've got another shoe that I'm sure you've seen a lot of on this channel, and that's the Adidas Ultra Boost 1.0. I guess that could be any Ultra Boost, or at least any Ultra Boost DNA, because I feel like those shoes look better than the newer Ultra Boosts, but I love this sneaker. I think this is my favorite running sneaker of all time. Not for running exactly, but for visuals and for comfort. When the Ultra Boost first came out in 2015, it was groundbreaking, and not just because of the full-length Boost midsole, but also because that was paired with this insanely soft prime knit upper. This shoe was widely considered to be one of the most, if not the most, comfortable sneaker of all time, at least up until 2017 or 2018. The combination of the Boost and the prime knit just made this shoe so pillowy and so soft and so bouncy. It was just like a crazy experience for your feet. I'm sure if you guys ever owned a pair of Ultra Boosts, you remember that first time that you slid your foot into the pair and you were like, damn, that's comfy. But not only that, the shoe just looked good. It was such a sleek and clean looking running sneaker, and it was so easy to wear with pretty much anything. The Ultra Boost, and also probably the addition of Kanye, really made Adidas what it is today, and I think this shoe will go down as one of the most iconic sneakers in recent memory. I remember when Boost was at its peak, I probably had 20 pairs of Ultra Boost in all different colors. I just love this shoe, and I ended up getting rid of a lot of them just because I was moving and a lot of different reasons, but I love this shoe, and I'm so happy I at least have like 3 or 4 pairs remaining because it's just such a comfortable sneaker and I just wear it all the time. And the fact that the recent Core White Ultra Boost 1.0 re-release sold out instantly just goes to show that people still love this sneaker. Even if not all the colorways are selling out like they used to, people still really consider this shoe one of the best. Then, at number 1, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you probably already guessed what this shoe was, but it's the Air Jordan 1 Bred. In my opinion, the Air Jordan 1 is the perfect shoe. It's like the perfect example of good design. It's clean, it's minimal, yet it still stands out, it still makes a statement. And the Air Jordan 1 overall, whether it's the low top, mid top, or high top, is one of the most wearable sneakers you can buy. Meaning looks-wise, not really comfort-wise. It's not that comfortable. And the Bred colorway in particular, besides just having such an insanely rich history, also looks amazing. When red and black is paired together, doesn't get much better than that. This is obviously the 2016 release of the shoe and is one of the only shoes in my entire collection that I've actually doubled up on. In fact, at one point I tripled up on it, but then I sold it. It doesn't matter. I have 2 pairs of these, and it's like the only shoe I have 2 pairs of. This is one of those shoes that I wear as much as I can. I keep it as clean as possible so that it lasts as long as it possibly can. There's really not much else I can say about this sneaker that you guys don't already know, but there is a reason why the Air Jordan 1 is so insanely popular right now, and I think it's just because it's one of the best shoes ever made. But on that note, it's time to wrap up the top 5 sneakers that I cannot live without, and the Air Jordan 1 Bred is the number 1 by far. Now I would love to know your thoughts on this list and what your top 5 sneakers are, so let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.